Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, Carib Cement says cement shortage will end shortly. Caribbean Cement Company has confirmed that it cannot meet the current demand for cement in the local market, but says that the shortfall will be remedied in the coming days. The company provided confirmation after completing its scheduled annual maintenance of its kiln, the device used to process cement. Caribbean Cement, in a statement released on Sunday, said that prior to the maintenance, the company held sufficient inventories to meet market needs. But the passage of Hurricane Beryl and the company's subsequent continuing relief efforts resulted in faster consumption of the inventory, resulting in a delayed supply for customers. The news became aware of the cement shortage through hardware suppliers who are complaining of a dwindling supply of the major construction products. According to reports, over the last 2 weeks, haulage operators were turned away from Carib Cement's Rockfort-based plant due to the unavailability of the product. Several trucks were parked at the plant on Sunday morning, awaiting word on the resumption of cement delivery. Meanwhile, Carib Cement says it is working diligently to replenish its supply as quickly as possible. It is urging consumers to be patient as it works to restore normality over the next few days. Prime Minister hints at a continued crime-fighting role for Fitz Bailey. Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Friday revealed that he has been flooded with petitions for Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey to remain within the constabulary, and hinted that the veteran cop, whose retirement took effect on September 7, will be assigned elsewhere to continue crime fighting. Today is exactly 40 years and 7 months. In anything, whether an institution or an individual, 40 years is a long time, so you could easily say that Fitz has dedicated his useful life to the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and now he is going to make use of the remainder of his life, Holness said Friday at a special dinner in honor of Bailey. I have never gotten so many petitions for anyone to remain in their position. I have gotten calls from members of civil society, members of the private sector, just the average persons. You have developed a great deal of goodwill in the country, Holness told Bailey, noting that other cops are considered brand-name policemen, making their names over and above the institution, some of them not based on institutional policies and principles. Holness said Bailey has made his name because he exemplifies the policies and the principles we would all want to see in the JCF. Therefore, some persons would use this to say, that is why Fitz should remain. You should find every way to keep him in the force. I understand. I am sympathetic to that view, but whenever I take the time to listen to the public, there is a sense that the public, and in particular those persons in elite positions, have not yet gotten the memo that this is a different JCF. We are living in a different Jamaica. First of all, for the JCF to produce a Fitz Bailey is a credit to the JCF. Second of all, for the JCF to feel that Fitz, having served, reached his time, he is going to retire, that is a signal to say that the JCF is not short of talent like Fitz Bailey, the Prime Minister said. In the meantime, Holness, in declaring that the JCF has institutionalized the principles that DCP Bailey exemplifies and has now been transformed to be seen as a force for good, said, so Fitz, we are not losing you. We are creating space for those you have trained to also emerge, to keep the organization refreshing and renewing. Your leaving the JCF is not a loss to the nation, but I am sure that there will be other areas in which your skills will be most useful, and I would want to see you serving in some of these areas, Holness said. In expressing his admiration for the policeman, who is also a bishop, Holness, while stating tongue-in-cheek, I don't know if you pray before you shoot, but I am certain that there is divine guidance in all that you have done. Your pathway has been lighted by the Almighty. He said that Bailey, who was baptized at the age of 12, stuck with his church, God and a family, and is to be praised and admired. Bailey, who was first assigned to the Beat and the Foot Patrol Division, rose through the ranks to his current position as a Deputy Commissioner with responsibility for the crime and the security portfolio, with oversight responsibility for the Criminal Investigation Branch Intelligence Branch and the Counterterrorism Organized Crime Investigation Branch. He led the revamping and reorganizing of the detective training program to include the instruction of crime analysts who are deployed to all police divisions and area headquarters in the GCF. Bailey holds a Master's of Science in Psychology and Criminal Investigation from the University of Liverpool, a Master of Science in National Security and Strategies from the University of the West Indies, Mona, and an Associate Degree in Accounting from Management Institute for National Development. He was instrumental in the review and reorganizing of the JCF's crime reporting and the case management policy, the development of a stolen motor vehicle policy, and the establishment of a cold case unit at the Major Investigations Division. The veteran lawman has received the training in the United States, Canada, Grenada, Trinidad, and El Salvador. In the course of his involvement with the criminal investigation and the training of investigators, Bailey has lectured on various aspects of criminology and is regarded for his significant contribution to the reform and modernization of gang investigations in Jamaica. Bailey was made a member of the Order of Distinction, officer class in 2021, and received the Medal of Honor for meritorious service in 2011. He is a Minister of Religion, a marriage officer, and a Justice of the Peace. Jamaicans staged protest in Manhattan despite a dissident group split. Despite reeling from a bitter feud within the ranks of the rival Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, which has split the organization and dampened its resolve, a small number of members staged a protest against the Jamaican government in New York last Friday. The protest, which took place outside the Jamaica Consulate in Manhattan, was organized by the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation, which prior to the fallout was part of a coalition that sought to highlight a number of issues of concern to the diaspora. The other groups in that coalition were the Diaspora Task Force on Crime Intervention and Prevention and the Call to Action Group. Addressing Friday's protest, Attorney Wilfred Rattigan, founder of the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and a key player in the dispute, said that they were there to give a voice to the oppressed Jamaicans he claims are suffering from low wages, poor health care service, corruption, crumbling infrastructure, and a poor education. The days of staying silent are over, as we are on the cusp of finding change for the people of Jamaica, he declared. The government would like nothing more but to see us go away, but we are not going anywhere. We may be small in numbers, but we will prevail in unity, he said. In a clear reference to the split within the group, Rattigan said, "We have no issue with our brothers and sisters. Our issue is with the government of Jamaica, which for 8 years have demonstrated poor governance and a lack of response to the concerns of Jamaicans across the United States and elsewhere." While other speakers at the protest joined Rattigan in accusing the government of not doing enough on a range of issues, one speaker, Jeffrey Tavares, told the protesters that as a people, we need to come together, offer assistance, and find solutions to the problems affecting us. We need to stand with the government, even while being critical of their action. We cannot continue to blame the political elites alone. We must play our part as well, he argued, even as he lamented the state of violent crime in the country. Tavares said that every Jamaican, despite their location in the world, should be concerned about the crime in the country. He pointed to the killing of 8 people at the Cherry Tree Lane in Clarendon in August as a clear indication that more serious measures need to be taken by the government to deal with the crime. Despite the fallout within the group, the co-leader of the rival GJDC, Dr. Rupert Francis, has vowed that the effort to get the government to respond to their concerns will continue. There are sufficient people who believe in what has been started and who want to be a part of our efforts. If it is that we have to look at where we are and recognize, then we will, he said. In June, as the government staged its 10th biennial conference of the GJDC in Montego Bay, St. James, the rival group held a counterpart version of the conference online at the same time, which drew participation from some People's National Party personalities, among them its spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.